What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost, and The Last of Us Part 2 fans had an absolute meltdown yesterday on social media. Anywhere that they could have a voice, Twitter, Reddit, Reset Era, they were complaining and they were crying that Ghost of Tsushima deservedly won Player's Voice Game of the Year, and Ghost of Tsushima shouldn't really be a surprise. This is a game that received critical acclaim and also was beloved by nearly everyone. You look at the scores for this game, you can see it is a beloved game, unlike The Last of Us Part 2, which divided people. But now they're making every excuse they can possibly think of to justify why this happened. And the journalists are going right along with them. It really is pathetic. Take a look at Neil Druckmann. This is the tweet that really got all of the attention. Last of Us 2 fans activate. As a bonus for every vote you cast for The Last of Us Part 2, a hater loses their caps lock. He subsequently deleted that after The Last of Us Part 2 fell behind Ghost of Tsushima, and we all know the end result. Let's look at this graphic here. Boom! Player's Voice winner, Ghost of Tsushima. Congratulations to Sucker Punch. It is well deserved. Like I said, when you look at the kind of love that this game received, when you look at Metacritic, right, you realize that the vast majority of people loved this game, an incredibly high user score. You look at The Last of Us Part 2, boom, 5.7, very divisive game. This is with tons of purges, right? Tons of votes being purged, tons of ratings being purged, while the fake high review scores were left there. Those weren't touched, but the quote-unquote fake low review scores definitely were. Either way, incredibly divisive game, but look at some of the reaction. I congratulated Ghost of Tsushima. People like Yellow Flash congratulated Ghost of Tsushima, and in the replies, these butthurt little weirdos freaking out, unable to accept the fact that this vote actually happened the way that it did. You have this person here. This is really what they are going for. Oh, well, the website was hacked. That was all. The Last of Us Part 2 was absolutely dominating, so some salty mofo had to come in and hack the site. LMFAO, Last of Us 2 really broke some of y'all. I saw a lot of little fuckers posting this kind of shit, trying to say, oh, well, the site was hacked. That's why this happened. No. That's not why. That's not real. That didn't actually happen. Jeff Keighley himself came out with the statement. This is from Reset Era. There was no hack. Had Web Team look into it. It was just a temporary outage for about 10 minutes. So Jeff Keighley, unless you're saying that Jeff Keighley is lying, Jeff Keighley is covering up. He's a secret Last of Us Part 2 hater. He just really wanted Ghost of Tsushima to win. If that's what you're saying, I don't know what to tell you. It wasn't just this person. It was so many other people trying to push this narrative. And even places like PC Gamer tried to convince everybody that it was a hack. When you look at this article, Ghost of Tsushima wins the publicly voted Player's Voice at the Game Awards. It was a tough fight against The Last of Us Part 2, but there are suspicions of hacking. They literally don't even do their homework. They put it right here. Whether it was a hack, a glitch, or something else entirely happened behind the scenes is unclear, but up until that point, the votes for Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us Part 2 were neck and neck for the win. You're trying to tell people that this was a hack, right? That this was a hack. That is what you're trying to say, even though it has been said over and over again by Jeff Keighley himself that there was no hack. It didn't happen. You're deluding yourselves. You are fake news. That's what you're doing, trying to spread this bullshit around. And you had other people in the responses. Look at this. Ghost of Tsushima is a fantastic game, and Sucker Punch established themselves as a top-tier developer. But seriously, are we really going to ignore the reasons why Last of Us 2 didn't win? Are we really going to stick our heads in the sand and ignore the hate-filled motivations behind this vote? And that person got absolutely destroyed. Here's someone else. Hey, homophobes, voting for Ghost of Tsushima just so Last of Us didn't win. Just a reminder that Lady Masako is bisexual. It's almost like no one gives a shit about that. People voted for Ghost of Tsushima because, in a lot of their minds, it is a superior game. It is, in my mind, a superior game. It was my vote for Game of the Year. Now, if you look at the amount of people that love Ghost of Tsushima, again, go to the Metacritic. This isn't scientific, but when you look at it, it was beloved. A lot of people loved it. You look at Last of Us Part 2, a lot of people hated it. There are people that love it, to be sure. That's why these little spurgs are freaking out right now. But the bottom line is, it wasn't some beloved game. It is loved by a few individuals, by a very hardcore weirdo group of individuals that Neil Druckmann tried to rally, that Neil Druckmann tried to get them to do everything they could, and they couldn't get it done. You have people trying to complain that, oh, well, the only reason is because, Ghost of Tsushima people, they only voted for that because they were encouraged to on Reddit. They were telling people to make accounts to vote. Well, you look at The Last of Us 2 Reddit, the battle horns are out. Vote, y'all, after Neil Druckmann posts this. Again, Last of Us 2 Reddit. You make every vote count. Final voting in the Player's Choice Awards. Remember to cast your vote for Game of the Year. Trying to get people to vote for Last of Us Part 2. Again, come on, y'all. Last day to vote. Fuck the haters. Let's take it home. Right here. Where is this? Guys, we've got a day left to vote for the Game Awards. Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima are within 2%. Vote now if you haven't. Link in comments. How could we lose? How could we lose? Player's Voice Award. All on the Last of Us 2 subreddit. So they are doing exactly what they're accusing other people of doing. It's absolutely ridiculous. You look at Jeff Keighley making the announcement that Ghost of Tsushima is the winner. The replies to this are absolute insanity. And before we go through these replies, let's keep in mind the history here. As all of these games started getting eliminated, when they started whittling down the competition, Ghost of Tsushima was winning. Ghost of Tsushima was winning when there was 10 available, right? They had led all the way through every stage of this. Ghost of Tsushima was leading. And then all of a sudden, right? All of a sudden, when they pared it down, you had this tweet that really started everything, because as soon as voting started for the 5, Last of Us Part 2 jumped out to a pretty big lead. They thought they had it in the bag. Neil Druckmann was talking shit. And then things started to go south. This isn't a hack, right? This is not a hack. This is, look at all this stuff. You can see clearly what happened. Ghost of Tsushima fans started to come out. Gamers started to come out and vote for what they thought is the game of the year. This Last of Us Part 2 now at 39 to 36 Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima then pulls within 1 percentage point, right? And then by the morning, with only a little bit left, you have Ghost of Tsushima at 47% to Last of Us Part 2 at 33%, pulled away. A absolutely crushing victory for Ghost of Tsushima. No chance for Last of Us. Look at these people that just cannot accept it. So Jeff, are you really going to allow the Game Awards to be hijacked by alt-right groups? The same individuals who spent the summer sending threats to Naughty Dog devs and shaming the industry? I feel sorry for Sucker Punch, who's seen Ghost of Tsushima hijacked by these individuals. He got destroyed in the comments because this guy's obviously an idiot. But the idea that you're going to say that the couple death threats that got sent by maybe 5 or 6 people in the entirety of the gaming community, those are the reason that this happened. You're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot. I feel bad for Ghost of Tsushima developers because they're being misled into thinking that people genuinely like the game, even though they're only using that mid-open world game as a platform to hate on Last of Us Part 2. Again, this person got wrecked. Or maybe because it's a genuinely amazing game that people like. Yeah, people loved Ghost of Tsushima. You saw me playing it on Twitch. You saw a lot of the Geeks and Gamers team playing it, and how much we enjoyed, especially Legends, that free update. Whereas Last of Us Part 2 has not done shit since they released this game. When toxic forums mobilize and hacking the polls, this happens. Don't believe that result one bit. Well, again, no hacking happened, but you're retarded, so I guess that is the way it is. I'm happy that it took this amount of energy to dethrone The Last of Us Part 2, spreading the hacking bullshit. Again, didn't happen. Jeff Keighley confirmed it didn't happen. Only won because Last of Us 2 haters voted for it. 70% of who voted for it didn't even think it deserved it. They just didn't want Last of Us 2 to win. Again, I think when you look at the way these games were received, when you look at it, the sales are tightening up. The sales for this game are very close. In fact, when you look at everything that is still sitting on the shelves for The Last of Us Part 2, if you didn't count shipped, if you just counted sold through, there's a chance that these games have probably sold about the same amount, to be honest with you. When you look at that, you look at the reception Ghost of Tsushima had, overwhelming praise from the audience, and then the split from The Last of Us Part 2. It's not a surprise. When you actually get a real, legitimate vote, Ghost of Tsushima comes out the victor, and these people are never going to accept it. They're going to claim hacking. They're going to do whatever they can because they just can't believe that no one would vote for The Last of Us Part 2, the most divisive game that has come out in recent memory, the last Jedi of gaming. Neil Druckmann, Naughty Dog, you guys made your bed. You decided to divide the fan base, and it worked. Let me know all your thoughts about this in the comments below as these people continue to cry. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.